Hello, welcome to A Few Minutes with Esther. I'm Buddy Pennington, pastor of Westville Assembly of God in Holmes County, Florida, the host for the study. In this lesson, as we continue with the story of Esther, we discover in chapter 1, several things have occurred already. The King Ashasuerus, who is also known as Xerxes I, has held a 6-month feast in which all of the rulers and princes and nobles from his 127 provinces that consisted in his empire had come to enjoy themselves for a long period of time of feasting with the king, so the king could show off just how powerful and rich and influential he was. After that feast, he held a 1-week-long feast for all the people in his palace at Shushan. During that time, when everyone had well drunk, so to speak, he decided he wanted his Queen Vashti to come out and parade her beauty in front of all of the nobles from the palace. Queen Vashti saw what was going on and refused the command from the king to go out and parade her beauty before the other nobles. This made Ahasuerus tremendously angry. We pick up with verses 13 through 22 of chapter 1 with what he does next. Ahasuerus had a group of 7 men in whom he confided. These were the 7 most influential advisors that he had in his kingdom. He called those men together and he asked them, well, what should I do? Now, one of the advisors, I believe his name is Memucan, spoke up on behalf of the others and said to the king that surely the other women in the realm are going to find out that Queen Vashti has refused to obey the command of the king. When the other women find out about that, they are going to despise their husbands, as Memucan says it. Now that word despise has several meanings, and in this case it probably meant that they would reject their authority like Vashti had rejected Ahasuerus' authority. In other words, they wouldn't hate them. What they would do is they would rebel against their authority. Memucan says to King Ahasuerus, we can't have that happening in the entire realm. If that happens, there will be chaos when the husbands in the homes are not honored by their wives. So he suggested to Ahasuerus that Ahasuerus set a decree into the law of the Medes and Persians that could not be revoked, and that decree should state that all of the men in the realm should be the rulers in their homes, and that all of the people in the homes, including the wives, should be subject to them. This decree was to be sent out to the entire empire, all 127 provinces of it. The decree was to be written in the language of each individual province, and the men of the homes were to consider themselves declared rulers of their homes by the king. We're going to see what happens with this, because Memucan also suggested let another queen be selected to take Vashti's place. Our story will continue with our next video, in which we see what happens when Ahasuerus decides to replace his queen. It's our prayer that these Bible studies will be a blessing to you. Allow me to encourage you to visit our Facebook page, which is Westville AG at 2513 Cypress Street. If you have comments or questions about our study, please put them in the comments section after the video. May God richly bless you until next time, whenever we get together for A Few Minutes with Esther.